Okie dokes, now let's begin with my first guest on the show today. Now, through the Afro Film Festival, of course, we all had several movies that we got to see, movies that we got to enjoy, but none quite stuck out to me like Phoenix Fury. Now, my guest today, Ifeoma Chukwuogo, is a film and media producer, writer, director. She holds a BA in communication from the University of Texas and an MA in film and media production. Now, amongst her previous clients as a producer, she's worked with Showmax and Dani TV, Aquabat, DSTV Ghana, and many more. And of course, she's also behind the film Phoenix Fury, which won the best film at the Afro Globe Awards. Congratulations. You know how many... Let me tell you something that you might actually find funny. Initially, there was this thing happening where everybody knew your film, but everybody was mixing up the name. So like, did you see that film? Fire Fury. Someone else now goes, no, Phoenix Fire. Someone else now goes, no, it was the Phoenix. I'm like, yo, we all just were talking about it, but everybody was like, okay. And then one day I'm like, I must know this Phoenix Fury.
Yes. I had a feeling that would happen.
That happened a lot.
Because when I came up with the title, like, a few people told me, are you sure you want this title for a Nigerian audience or an African audience? Are you sure? Because
why did you do this? Listen, it was a thing. It was like Phoenix. I won't lie. At some point, I said it was Phoenix Fire. That was like, I was like, Phoenix Fire? Like, no, it's Phoenix Fire. But that's the idea of a phoenix, right? You know, like rising from the ashes and the likes. When you now add fury to that, it's already a moment that you would say happens in such fury. You would think that almost meant the same thing. So explain what that meaning meant for you. Unfortunately, I couldn't see the film because I was so busy producing content out of the festival. But talk to me about that title that you chose for the film.
Yeah, so the symbolism of a phoenix, you know, rising from the ashes, having gone through so many things, death, rebirth, and emerging from destruction, right? And then fury represents anger. Like being furious, having a bone to pick. I wouldn't say it's a revenge story because it depends on who you ask. Some people would argue that it's not. We got some feedback regarding that after the screening. Like, you know, some people wanted the revenge to look a certain way, but yeah. So that's the idea of it. The anger that comes after rebirth from destruction.
So you've had quite the journey in this industry, and I think that before we even get into the actors in this film, the people that you met along your journey from school, you know, to moving across different countries, how would you say they contributed to where you are now? Is this your first feature?
This is my first feature.
And that you have an amazing cast in your first feature. So, and you know, they're people like this, like the likes of Barry Jenkins, you know, from his first feature to his second. It's like from that first, that won like the best first feature, everything else, Oscar, Moonlight, and it just kept going like that for him. And now he's producing Mufasa. So how would you say your journey brought you up until this moment?
I think the diversity of my journey, where the places that I've lived, people that I've met. You know, I grew up in Port Harcourt. I went to school in Austin, Texas, and Los Angeles.
Okay.
I have lived in Abuja, Lagos, Accra, Toronto. Just meeting people from different walks of life, and also having worked in other industries. I've worked in advertising, I've worked in agro-processing. I think it's helped me just have a diverse view of the human condition, which at the end of the day is what storytelling is about. I've met so many different people with so many different motivations and background stories, and I just always try to take from everyone I meet in every place that I am to see what stories I can craft, you know, and how I can create things. And to be honest, some of the things that I thought wouldn't be relevant to my filmmaking career ended up being relevant. Like, you know, the person that eventually introduced me to RMD is not somebody I met through filmmaking, you know.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, and just all of that. So I was able to, I think things just worked out, if I should put it that way. And it's a strength of the weak ties and strong ties here and there all through my life. Yeah.
Now, you also had a great team, like you mentioned.
Yes.
You rightly said you worked with RMD. I know Amma was in this film as well.
Yes.
And she spoke about it bravely during one of the sessions with John Boyega. That's actually the first time I heard about it. And I was like, okay, I got to look out for this one. And she kept talking, even on the red carpet, kept mentioning, like, oh, my film, Phoenix, she kept mentioning it. So talk to me about the team that you put together for Phoenix Fury.
Gosh, you know, I said this during the awards night. I said, I am so grateful to everybody that I worked with, especially the veterans, because these people have resumes 10 times more extensive than me, and they trusted me. And not only that, they've championed the film. Amma did so much off screen as much as she did on screen. You know, she's also a producer. That's part of her profession. So she was able to just help sometimes, you know, when things... production can be weird, you know, no matter what, there's always Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And they'll just roll up their sleeves and say, how can we help? You know, what can we do? How can we make this a reality? So I think everybody bought into the vision, bought into the story, into the dream of what the film can be. The crew as well, not just the cast, you know, I just was able to have people on board who were as professional as they were wonderful people personally. And that is what makes all the difference. You can have a fantastic story, fantastic everything else, and if the people who are putting in their sweat and tears and blood into the thing are not the right people, it's going to be dead on arrival. So I'm just really grateful that I had the caliber of people that I had, yeah.
So what would you say is next now for Phoenix Fury? Because you've won Best Film. That is a big... Do you even know how much of a big deal that is?
I think I'm still coming to terms with it.
How does it feel? Like, what's the feeling you're having right now?
Honestly, top of the list is relief. I just feel very relieved because it's been 2 years of working on something, you know, a year of conceptualizing, writing, development, and then a year of filming, post-production, all of that. And it's like you want to birth this baby. You want to see also how people will receive it because you know what you know, and people that worked on it know what they know. But you're never really sure how something is going to land with an audience.
Exactly.
So I feel intense relief. I feel very proud because we put so much work into this. And yeah, I'm just excited. I'm eager for what else the film does. I'm eager for the journey. I'm eager for more things that I will do in my career. I'm just feeling very balmy, if I should say.
Balmy. I think that's a great place. I, for one, I'm so inspired by this because not everyone gets this much, you know, applause with their first feature. That's a pretty... Did you even do a short? Is this like your first?
So I did I did shorts, and I've actually done series.
Okay.
I've been a director for hire. I've done a series with Ndani, with Showmax. So, you know, it's long form content. So I think I've had some training. It's helped prep me for making a feature, my first feature to be made on this scale. I think all of those jobs that I would get, you know, as a director for hire with reputable organizations and production studios like this, like these that I mentioned. I also worked in advertising with, you know, certain big clients and with a fantastic agency that I think made me the producer that I am today. I learned how to produce when I was working in advertising. So I think that helped me. Yeah, so it's been a step-by-step journey. Yeah.
So what's next now? Where would you say this story is taking you to, and where is the story headed to as well? That's another major one.
So for where it's headed to be announced.
To be announced, but it's intends to eventually, the world will see it.
Of course.
That's so important.
The world has to see Phoenix Fury. Like, I'm even more affirmed now that it's such a beautiful film. I knew that in my heart, but now that the first audience has affirmed it, and the jury has given us this wonderful honor of being best film and best director. So I want the world to see it. I want it to travel. I just don't want it to be shown in Nigeria. It's an African film. Yeah. We shot in Nigeria, in Ghana. It's a universal story. It's a story about the human condition, many different types of human conditions. So I want everyone to see it, and that's where we're heading. That's what we're trying to the real work of getting the film out there, crafting all of that.
That has only just begun. Yes. Well, Ifeoma, congratulations. I'm going to let everyone else see the trailer, but I have to say thank you for putting out the story, and once again, congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to show you the trailer. This is Phoenix Fury. We'll be back after this.
This military government will not tolerate corruption and crime in our great nation. There will be zero tolerance and capital.
The flame within has begun to stir. Who will save the birds if the forest burns? All the lines I drew have begun to blur. No light within to fight against the growing dark. And it keeps ringing in my head. What's been done, what's been said? It's the final act, so I lit that match and I let the fire spread. I've been dreaming of tomorrow. I've been pulling on this thread. All things unraveling in the end, and we're halfway there.
So we need the naive. Not one in you, the very stubborn.
Halfway there,
How come I'm not going to trust him?
and I'm halfway